Welcome back to the IBFP. Here's your host, Boxing New.
Welcome back, fight fans. Welcome back. Dillian Whyte says he made Tyson Fury sob and cry. Let's just break it down. Dillian Whyte basically said he dropped Tyson Fury twice in sparring and he started sobbing. And even the coach of Tyson Fury cursed at him. His exact quote was he was getting ready to fight David Haye, and obviously his trainer at the time was trying to get him to walk me down and pressure me like he would Haye. And he was frustrated that day because I kept hitting him, countering him, and dropping him. I dropped him twice that day. He was just frustrated and he was sobbing. So we're going to be honest about the situation. A lot of people really say that Dillian Whyte's not on Tyson Fury's level, and I've always believed that's a dangerous fight for Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury's an elite fighter. I even think that he may even be favored to beat Dillian Whyte, but Dillian Whyte presents a stylistic challenge for Tyson Fury that not many other heavyweights do, because stylistically, Dillian Whyte can pressure Fury. Stylistically, Dillian Whyte can go to his body. He can make it a living hell for Tyson Fury in that fight, and that may be the reason why Tyson Fury rejected the fight in 2019 to face Dillian Whyte. He obviously ducked Dillian Whyte once, and now that he's the world champion, the WBC champ, he's not interested in fighting Dillian Whyte. We got to be honest about that. And we've seen Tyson Fury, struggle with bums. We've seen him, get dropped and hurt by Steve Cunningham. We've seen him get dropped and hurt by Nevin Pagic. We've seen this before. We've seen him struggle with bums. We've seen him struggle with Otto Wallin. Otto Wallin bust open a cut on his face. The fight should have been stopped, but since it was an ESPN sporting event, they allowed the fight to continue, which is highly unusual when you're bleeding at that magnitude. And then you've also seen Tyson Fury, against Nikolai Firth, an unranked fighter who had already been knocked out 8 times before the Fury fight. Basically had Tyson and Fury in survival mode in the 3rd round of their fight. A lot of people don't know about these things, but struggling with bums, it shows a lot about you, and that's why Tyson Fury has carefully selected the guys he fights at the top. He fought a Klitschko and refused to rematch, and even when he fought the Klitschko, you got to look at it like this. Klitschko's not a guy that's going to go to your body a lot. He's not going to throw a lot of punches and bunches. He was trying to pick his shots at Tyson Fury, and that's the wrong style when you fight Fury. And then he fought an incompetent and moronic Deontay Wilder. You can't give him too much credit for that either, because stylistically, those are easier fights for Fury. They're tailor-made for Fury. When you look at Deontay Wilder, you're going to have a lot of people say, well, Wilder dropped him, so, and he didn't knock him out. Well, we don't know how good Wilder's power really is. He only knocks out bums or old men. Even Luis King Kong Ortiz got up the first time in the first fight, and he was 40 plus years old with high blood pressure. So, you got to keep that in perspective. And then also, when he did drop him, you have to understand Wilder has no skills and was unable to fully land a clean shot on Tyson Fury. If you don't understand and know boxing, Fury rolled with the shots that Wilder did hurt him with in the first fight. Wilder is used to knocking out bums. He's not used to knocking out top-level skilled prime fighters. And he has not done that to one top-level skilled prime fighter. He has never knocked out a top-level skilled prime fighter. We got to be honest and unbiased. Deontay Wilder lacks skills, and Tyson Fury was just too skilled to get hit full force from any shot that Deontay Wilder had. If we look at Dillian Whyte in his totality, he's a top 5 heavyweight with skills and power, and that's a dangerous fight for Tyson Fury. But once again, unbiased as always, just the IBFP.